Yo, what's going on everybody, and welcome to another redstone tutorial. And today I'm going to be showing you how to build a shulker box loading system for whatever farms and stuff that you might have in the world. So before we get started, I just want to give a quick rundown of some of the features of this thing. So right here we have the item sorter at the very top. This is a design that I came up with myself. It's basically you have a hopper with the items that you want to sort, and then you have this piston that pushes this hopper down to complete the circuit, and that allows items to travel down into here. There's a shulker box that sits right here, and when this hopper right here reaches signal strength 2, then this piston will get powered, and this observer will get pushed over and fire the piston, breaking the shulker box in the system. That shulker box then goes down into this hopper, and it activates this comparator right here. The observer notices the change and spits out another shulker box from this dispenser right here. Then you have the smart shulker box loading system or redistribution system. So if this dispenser doesn't have any items, this piston is depowered, which means the redstone block gets pulled out of the way, which unlocks this hopper. But if there's no items in there, as there are right now, the redstone block gets pulled out of the way, and then the minecart gets launched from this station right here, and it shoots across to distribute all of the shulker boxes, and only one shulker box will be in a dispenser at a time, which is really good because like that way you don't have to stock up on a crap ton of shulker boxes in order for this system to work. Now, this right here is also part of the shulker box loading system. So again, if this is empty, this torch turns on, which sends a redstone line over to here and opens the fence gate, which allows the chest minecart to travel off. But anyways, there is one downside to this, and that is the fact that this does not work with non-stackable items such as armor, weapons, and things of that nature. With a quick modification that I will show you, it can work, but you have to be aware, like in this current state right here, you need to sort out all of the non-stackable items before the rest of the items get to this area. But anyways, let's go ahead and hop right into the tutorial. Of course, I will be including a resource list down in the description of the video. The resource list itself will be per slice. So each one of these slices represents one type of item that's getting sorted. And you can take off what you don't want and add what you do want at will. You don't have to have the shulker box redistribution system, and you don't have to have this item sorter if you're only going to be adding one item to this shulker box loader. But anyways, let's go ahead and hop right into the tutorial. So before we do that, I'm going to come over here and just grab a few blocks, and let's get quite a ways away from this thing because I don't want to run into any issues with that. Let's go ahead and break that back out. We're going to grab our chests, and we're going to start off right here, and then we're going to get our hoppers and face them into these chests right here like this. You're going to have a half slab on top of there. Now you'll want to get your piston that's going to actually break the shulker boxes, and you'll want to place that in right like that. And it might be a good idea to place glass in right here, here, and here, because this is going to be the end shulker box loading system. So now we'll want to get a redstone comparator right there into a full block like that. And on the other side of this, you'll want one piece of glass, and then you'll want to go ahead and get your sticky piston, and the sticky piston needs to be right here like this. And now we'll get the observer, and we'll have the observer facing up right like that. Add 2 pieces of redstone dust right there. This is going to detect when this hopper gets filled up to signal strength 2. So let's go ahead and add that hopper in now. We'll add one more hopper right here. You'll add one more block right here and add redstone dust on top of these. This block is very important because as there's no shulker box in the system, then this hopper right here will continue to take items, which means the signal strength will never drop below 2, and this observer will never break another shulker box in the system, which would break the shulker box loader. Now, if you're doing multiple of these side by side, it won't be an issue, but if you're only doing one slice, then you'll want to have a block off to the side, and you'll want to redirect this redstone signal either by placing more redstone dust there, or you can come over here and grab a button and place a button right here. The reason why you want to do that is this comparator is hard powering this block right here, and the redstone dust sitting on top of that block will power this regardless of whether it's in signal strength 2 or not. But like I said, this is only important if you're building just one of these slices. Now let's go ahead and add in the sorting system. So you'll come up one more hopper, and then you'll have a hopper facing into the side of that. Now you'll want to get your sticky piston, and you'll want to have it facing down right like that. Now we can go ahead and get a redstone block and go ahead and pull this out of the way right like that. Now what you'll want to do is get your packed ice and your glass panes. So the packed ice is going to go right here, and then you'll have a half slab right here with a comparator facing this direction, and you're going to have that facing into a block. You'll have another block here, another block here, and another block here. Or you could also use half slabs if you want. You could have a half slab here and a half slab here. That's perfectly fine. And then you'll want redstone dust on top of all of those. Now we need to do the system that's going to place another shulker box once the first one gets broken. So in order to do that, you'll have a half slab there, a comparator right here. You'll have an observer facing up, and that's going to be facing into this dispenser. Now, this part right here is not necessary, but it is a pretty nice feature. So if you wanted a storage full indicator light to come on whenever one of these slices gets filled up 100% of the way, then what you could do is come over here with some glass, and you'll want to do a section kind of like this. And actually, this doesn't have to be glass. This could be bottom half slabs if you want. And then you'll do 4 pieces of redstone dust and a repeater into the side of this right here. And then you'll get your redstone lamp and place it right there. This light will come on whenever this hopper right here reaches signal strength 4 or higher. And what that is basically 2 of the shulker boxes. And what's cool about this system is even if one of these slices gets 100% filled up, the shulker box that's in the system will not get broken, it will not. I'm sorry, my brain is kind of not working right now. But anyways, it won't distribute another shulker box if the storage is full, which means that you will never lose a single shulker box out of this system, because if this hopper is filled up, this comparator right here will never change its state, which means the observer will never place another shulker box. And since it doesn't place another shulker box once this hopper is full, then the shulker box will obviously never get broken, and you'll never lose a shulker box. That's what's really cool about this design right here. Now, this is pretty much all of the system complete. If you want, you can go ahead and add in the shulker box redistribution system, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So you'll have a block here, a block right here, and a half slab here. And then you'll have a redstone comparator into that block there. You'll want to get a sticky piston facing this direction. And then you'll want to get a redstone block right here. And now what you want to do is just get a hopper and face this right like that. And that's pretty much that done. Now all you have to do is get some powered rails in right here. You'll have to get a power source, and you could space these redstone blocks out however you want, or you could find some other way of powering it. I think you can I don't know if you can use a lever right there. Let me go ahead and see. I'm thinking you could just use a lever. Yep, you can use a lever right there, which also has the added benefit of allowing you to walk through this section right here if you have to do any type of maintenance on this, which you shouldn't have to. And then the only thing left to do now is just add in the input. So what we'll do is we'll add a glass pane in here. Oh, actually you can't use a lever there, I'm sorry. It's going to lock that hopper and it won't collect anything, period. So you'll want to come out by one block with your glass pane, and then you'll go ahead and add your chest in, and then you can take glass or whatever other type of block that you want, and you'll go ahead and bring this direction by 3 blocks, right like that, and you'll come this direction with your packed ice, and this is going to loop around right like that, and also fill it in on this side. Now if you're only doing, make sure like on the very ends of the shulker box loading system, you do have this edge capped off with some blocks of whatever you want, just so that the shulker box doesn't get flown off to the side or whatever. But anyways, this is a few added things that you could do to make this system even better. In order to tile this side by side, what you'd want to do is have the water flowing from the edge of this chest this direction, and then at the very end of that you could use either a button or a top half slab, something that the items can pass through, and then you'll have another water source on that side, and that's going to continue on that direction. This is a system that I figured out. What this is basically doing is, let's say I have a bunch of items coming in from a mob farm. So let's go ahead and toss a bunch of glass in the system. And what it's going to do is it's going to stack up against this trapdoor, and then when the trapdoor opens, it'll all get shot as a single stack of items, and that way the hoppers will never miss any items for the sorting system. As far as I know, like, it's obviously Bedrock, so anything can happen, but with this system, if you're having a large flow of items and you're having issue with the hoppers collecting them, because hoppers do have a cooldown time of 8 redstone ticks, which means if one item comes in and then another item comes in 7 redstone ticks later, the second item will get missed by the hopper and pass on through, and you don't want that. But anyways, that's just another system that you can add. And of course, with non-stackable items, if you wanted to change this system up to where it can handle non-stackable items, what you'd have to do is a little bit of work right here. So you'll go ahead and break that out, and you'll place a comparator in there right like that. Break this out, and you'll have some half slabs right here, and you'll have a comparator right here, not a repeater, a comparator, and then you'll have a solid block here, and you'll have this facing into a block right like that. So you want signal strength 4 coming to this block. So you have 1, and then let me grab some glass real quick. So you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right, like, actually, so I'm sorry, it needs to be signal strength 6. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And what this does is, if there's a non-stackable item that reaches this right here, actually, I'm sorry, that wouldn't work either. So you'd have to take this out, and you'd have to have the comparator right here, and you'd have to take this redstone out, place this right here, and then this part is very important. You have to redirect this current so that it's not hard powering that block right there. So by doing that, you just have a button right here. And what this system will do is when this reaches signal strength 6, which means there's 2 non-stackable items in this hopper, it'll output a signal strength of 6. So you have 1, 2, and that actually needs to be a full block as well. That way this redstone doesn't connect right here on the diagonal. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then this comparator reads the signal, and you could actually use a repeater right here if you wanted to. It would save you a piece of nether quartz. But that will keep this hopper locked. That keeps more items from flowing in. And then down here at the bottom, you'd have 1, 2, 3, and signal strength 4 coming to this piston right there. And that is your non-stackable item filter. It's not really a non-stackable item filter per se, but it will accept non-stackable items. So like, let's say you have the entire sorting system. It'll sort out everything except non-stackable items, and then the only thing that you have left to do is just take this sorting system section out, and you should be good to go. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick tutorial. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.